What's good with it, YouTube? You know it's your boy coming to you with another video of the Greenhouse Effect. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, the big question, how can we communicate effectively? Well, I got 3 points for you. The first point is you have to be confident in your explanations. You have to first of all explain, but be confident in that explanation. So what I mean by that is, when people say you don't know anybody in explanation, I think that that's half true and half right and half false, right? Because you don't owe anybody an explanation if they're a stranger to you. But if there's people that you let into your life, examples, friendships, relationships, just people that you connect with, people that you communicate with, you do owe them an explanation. Why? Because you allow them to get in your life. You can't just abandon them, So if me and you are friends and I say, okay, look, I no longer want to maintain these friendships, I can't just say, oh, I don't want to be your friend no more and just cut it off like that. No, that's not effectively communicating. That's not effectively communicating. That's me just telling you what it is. We ain't even have a conversation on it. I ain't even giving you the respect to let you know that, hey, this is the reason why. Because it could be a simple situation where, not a simple situation, but it could be a situation where y'all really just need to talk about it and work some things out, and that could be the start of the conversation y'all need to have. But the conversation dead before it even start because you communicated effectively, right? So instead, you could say something like, "Hey, look, I don't know if we should be friends anymore. Here's my reasoning: X, Y, Z. I don't really appreciate this. We talked about this before, but this ain't really changing. So, yeah, boom." That's effectively communicating, right? Because at that point, y'all can actually have a conversation, right? And come to a common ground on if you're going to retain the friendship or if you're going to just break apart. Same thing in a relationship. You can't tell somebody you're going to break up with them. But if you tell somebody okay, here's my reasoning as to why, and don't just these kind of more extreme examples. Don't just I'm not saying effectively communicating is cut people off, but this is the example of what you can do when you want to end those types of relationships, platonically and romantically. So yeah, effectively communicate, explain your reasoning, right? Another example could be if you plan to do something with somebody and you holding in your ideas or holding in your opinions or whatever because you don't know how that person gonna react. You don't know how that person gonna act. You don't know what they're gonna say. Don't worry about all that. Say what you have to say and explain it. Don't just say, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. Why you keep doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come from a place of irritation ever when you talk to somebody. Even if you're irritated, come from a place of calmness. Calm yourself down, take a step back, take a breath, and effectively communicate why you irritated, right? Even taking a step back can help you to calm down and communicate more effectively. But effectively communicate why you irritated. Effectively communicate why you sad. Effectively communicate what makes you happy. What makes you envious, what makes you joyful, what makes you laugh, all those things. Effectively communicate those things. Just how people get to know each other, right? And know the way that people's minds work. So give explanations on all those things. It don't got to be the negative all the time. You could tell somebody, hey bro, I'm so happy today. Here's why I'm happy, right? And what I just do is I effectively communicate to you that I'm happy, why I'm happy, and you get a little more insight on me. And I get a little insight on you because we can have a conversation on it. We can have a conversation on it, right? I feel like a lot of people, they just answer, they just respond to a message. They don't communicate with each other. If I tell you, I have a good day, that ain't really that's what I supposed to say after that. What is someone else supposed to say after that? Right? I have a good day. It's you want somebody to ask you why, what happened. You want somebody to chase after you and ask you that question. No, you could just say, hey, look, I had a good day. This is going on, this made me feel good. Boom, effectively communicate. Conversation is flourishing. Conversation can never dead if you effectively communicating with each other. So explain yourself, right? In confidence. Don't be scared. Don't say it under your breath. Take the fear out there. That's my second point. Take away the fear. Take away the fear. You talking to people. You talking to people. You ain't talking to aliens. You ain't talking to I ain't know, some type of Greek being. You ain't talking to nothing. You talking to regular people. Just like you. Just like me. We bleed red. We wake up in the morning. We go to sleep at night. We eat the same foods. You know? Regular people. There's no difference. Well, you know what I mean? Not physical difference, but there's no difference in who I am opposed to who you are. We both human, right? I ain't no better than you. You ain't no better than me. So if that's the case, why should I be fearful of explaining myself to you or communicating my thoughts to you effectively? And why should you be afraid to do the same for me? Why are we worrying about each other's, feedback? Why are we worrying about each other's reaction? You shouldn't. We both only human. That fear comes from the lack of confidence. That fear comes from you worrying about the wrong things. In a sense, like if you have an issue with somebody and you know that person is not going to be that receptive to your issue, so what? You still have an issue. Voice your issue. Real talk, voice your issue. And if that person don't be receptive of it, that person getting upset over it, whatever, y'all can effectively communicate. Let that be on that person, right? So then you know that person is somebody that you don't need in your life. Let that be on that person. But you effectively communicate. You know that you did what you need to do, say what you need to say, explain yourself, express yourself calmly and respectfully, and you effectively got your point across, right? They just choose not to listen. That's a choice. They choose not to listen, right? So you know that ain't the person for you. That ain't that friendship for you. That ain't a relationship for you. That ain't a colleague for you. They seeing the type of people you want around yourself, right? But if y'all both can't effectively communicate, one, you can't come to that conclusion because both of y'all playing the same games, and for two, y'all perfect for each other because y'all playing the same games. The both of y'all ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? So take the fear out of it. Fear for most people stems from trying to predict the future that they can't predict, not knowing what's going to happen next, and kind of like projecting what they think is going to happen, which is usually the negative. And this sense of communicating with others, that's where that fear stems from, right? But we know that we can't predict the future, so don't even try. You know that's literally impossible. Like you literally know that's impossible. So why even try to do it if you know you can't do it? If you know that's something that human beings just are not able to do, why even try to do it? Right? Don't try to predict the future. If you think something bad is going to happen, if you think the person is going to react badly to what you say, right? That's just a thought. That's just an opinion that you have. It could be the case that they do react badly to what you say, but it could also be the case that they do not, right? It could be the case that they have a good reaction, that they're more receptive to it, right? You don't know that. Two sides of the coin. So don't project your opinion on yourself. Don't project a negative opinion on yourself. Keep it at, yeah, it could happen, but it also could be better. It could be bad, but it could be good. Keep it at that. Keep it at that. And don't emphasize no side more than the next. Just keep it at that. So boom, we know we cannot predict the future, so we ain't trying. We know it's a possibility for both good and bad, so we can't stress because we can't see the future. And we know that this person just human, right? We also know that this feeling or this thought is strong enough to the point where we have to consider and contemplate how we gonna tell it to this person, or if we should tell it to this person. If you thinking, if a situation is big enough for you to say, should I say something? Yes, you should. Right? So it's another human being, nothing to be scared of. We can't tell the future, nobody can. Leave it in the hands of God, nothing to be scared of. Two sides of the coin. Really, the situation either gonna be, it gonna remain the same or it can get better. So it ain't even like you making a big risk, you know. Either they can react the way that you think they're gonna react, and you only think they can react that way because they reacted that way in the past. So that's how it currently is. So it remains the same, or they react better to it, right? And that's a better, like, it ain't even like good or bad. It's like the same or good, right? So that's not anything to be fearful of. So take that fear out of that. Don't put that fear in your mind. Just say how you feel. Communicate how you feel. And the third thing to understand, and I think I'm actually going to make a whole separate video on this point eventually, but vulnerability does not make you weak. It don't. It don't. Telling you what's in my heart don't make me weak. Telling me what's in your heart don't make you weak. Showing signs of weakness, showing me your thoughts, showing me your head, that don't make you weak. That makes you strong. You know how much people can't do that? You know how easy it is to just say, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll just chill. Nobody can understand me anyway. You know how easy it is to say, oh, I already know he gonna react this way. I already know she gonna react this way. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna put myself through it and just let it bother you. Just let it fester up and up and up until you blow up. You know how easy that is? You gotta be vulnerable. You got to be strong to have those difficult conversations. You got to be strong to be able to tell somebody what's going on in your head and your mind. That's strength. That's strength. Real talk. That's strength. It's not easy to walk up to a person and say, I don't want to be your friend no more. It's not easy to walk up to a person and say, hey, look, I need to set this boundary with you because this ain't making no sense. It sounds easy, but it ain't not easy. It ain't not easy. Especially when you set boundaries for the first time with somebody. Especially when you set boundaries for the first time in general, right? Especially when you just learn how to set boundaries with yourself. They ain't easy. When you end in something that's a difficult conversation, right? A lot of people have this mindset of, oh, I can't let nobody know my thoughts. I can't let nobody know what's in my head. I can't let nobody know my next move. It made me predictable. No, it don't. No, it don't. What it makes you is real. What it makes you is strong. What it does is allow people to understand the type of person you are. They know if they look at Dom, they can say, but I ain't gonna lie, one thing with Dom, if Dom feeling some type of way, Dom gonna let you know. Dom he ain't BSing. Right? My name is Dom, bro. If he ain't wanna do something, he ain't gonna do it. Right? Or if he wanna do something, he gonna do it. That's strength. That's a good positive outlook. Rather than saying, oh, but he's a mystery, but I know what he got going on. Why would I want somebody to look at me and like, if I'm a mystery to everybody, how are we gonna find the people that I need to flock towards if I'm a mystery? Nobody know. Right? How people gonna know my type, my characteristics, and if they should be my friend or not, if they should show me that respect or not, or the type of ways they should act around me or not, if I'm just a mystery all the time. Right? That don't help. That don't help. It's easy to get complacent in your own feelings and hold them in and stay accustomed to these ways that we have to reduce negative situations or hard conversations, right? It's easy to do that. But it ain't until we start embracing those hard conversations that we start getting the strength, that we start getting strong. It ain't until we start embracing that vulnerability, right? And I ain't saying just go cry on everybody's shoulder, no, but tell people how you feel, right? There's levels to vulnerability. You should have like a common level of vulnerability, right here. Right here is where I could tell everybody or anybody that I come across, say, look, I like this, I don't like this, I feel this way. This is my opinion. Nice straight off that. All them things, right? Right? And then up here in the higher level is where you get to like your closer friends. Where it's like, okay, you could actually vent more in detail. You could tell them things more in detail. You could cry on their shoulder and all that. You don't have to be that level of vulnerability. And even that level of vulnerability is still strength. That's not weakness. Holding the shit in is easy. Easy. But definitely not the best solution, not the optimal solution. Is not going to help us in the long run. It's not going to help us to learn to communicate effectively, right? So just to recap everything, explain yourself effectively, take the fear out of it, right? And also remember that vulnerability does not make you weak. It makes you strong. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next one. We out.
Baby, I'm the realest that hop up on your same. So please look it, don't take me for no lame. I know it seems intense to deal a nigga from the island, but don't fall under pressure, I promise I'll keep you smiling.